Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the singer's eyes, the singers only. Singer's eyes, the singers only.
Hey you guys, it's Crystal Sherelle from Indie Artist School. Welcome to the Singer's Arsenal. Today is a very special episode because it's our 50th episode, you guys. I am so excited to say that we made it this far. Thank you guys so much for supporting me along the way, subscribing to my YouTube channel, subscribing to the podcast, and supporting with your donations and streams and downloads. You guys are amazing. So I'm glad I was able to share this information with you, and hopefully along the way, I've helped you solve some of your vocal problems. Some of you guys already know, and some of you may not know, but I do give virtual lessons online on Zoom. They're one-on-one lessons on how to sing, specifically R&B. I do also help people with gospel and soul, but that's really my bread and butter, you guys. And I've been actually reached out to by people from different countries, and I noticed that I never really talked about this, but yes, I do give lessons for students from any country in the world. I actually have several students who are international. I'm US based, but I do teach students who are in Canada. So yeah, just check it out. Visit my website, indieartistschool.com, and if that meshes well with your budget currency wise, as well as the time zone that you're in, then we are a go. All right. So yeah, I'm so thankful for that. Thank you for all of you who have actually signed up for lessons and everything. So yeah, this has been great. Just loving it. I love helping you guys. So yeah, today we're gonna actually talk about how to make your low notes sound better. All right, I'm not even gonna say louder necessarily or polished, because I think that goes hand in hand. All right, so let's get into it. You've been singing, and sometimes you might hit a note that is actually in your range, but it's not a pretty one. You know what I mean? Like, you'll just be singing and you wish that note never happened. So like, I'm not judging you. I get it. We all got that note. But there are some things that might be happening when you sing that low note. One thing that could happen when you sing a low note is that it's non-existent. Like, you can't even hear it. It's just like it completely cuts out. And if that happens, chances are that it might not even be in your range yet, okay? You can always work to increase your vocal range, but maybe you're just not there yet, okay? Another thing that could be happening is that it sounds like this, back here. That's called vocal fry, and that has to do with your vocal placement, not necessarily your vocal range. If it's back there, then that can be corrected, and we'll talk about how in a minute. Another thing that could be happening is that it sounds like Kermit the Frog, like, oh, like that. Do your low notes sound like that? Oh, that's not Kermit, is it? I don't know how he talks, but anyway, I just imagine it sounds like that, okay? But basically what that means is that you're dropping things, and we'll talk more about how you can correct that. Let me get me some water, because I'm about to get petty. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's talk about each problem individually. One, if it is out of your range, what you can do to help yourself gradually increase your lower range is start by where you can comfortably sing the note first. And if you're not sure where, just hum a sound and go a little bit lower. So let's go. So if it starts cutting out around there, then we know that that note is too low. So maybe it's here. And then you'll hum the note first. You should feel the vibration in your lips, okay? And if the vibration stops and it's completely in the back of your throat, then you need to get it towards your lips by maybe changing the shape of your So just really think about a narrow rather than like that, okay? So try to change the way you do your okay? And then you can gradually decrease or lower the note until you can finally get to the note you're aiming for. But I want you to be really, really, really patient with yourself if you are trying to increase your vocal range. Vocal range expansion takes time, and it must be done carefully, guys. If you push too hard, too soon by trying to jump like 4 notes really fast, you're going to overwork your voice, and you could actually cause some damage, and it actually ends up like reverting and then have to go back again. So it's like all that work you did was kind of for nothing because it was only temporary, because your voice starts cutting out on you and becoming unreliable. So I'm just telling you from experience with my past, like I've been there where I was trying to push too hard. Don't do that, okay? I'm trying to save you guys some trouble, all right? So the second problem and the way you can fix it was the vocal fry sound back there, okay? And if you don't want your low notes to sound really gritty, that's the word I'm gonna use, you could change the vowel shape to help open it up a little bit. So maybe instead of O, because sometimes our O's, it depends on the way you speak, but a lot of people say O with the back of their throat, they go O, O. If you say O like that, then change the vowel to something like eh. And if eh is still too far back there, open it up even more and do ah, ah. Hardly anybody does ah with vocal fry unless you go ah like that. No, hardly anybody does that unless you're Britney Spears maybe, I don't know. And I love her, I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying on the low end, you don't want to do that, okay? You want to be purposeful with everything. All right, let's just say that much. I'm not coming for anybody, okay? So let's say that you change your vowel shape and it's still difficult for you to sing that low note. Well, then that brings us to the third thing that you can do, and that is to make sure that you're not doing one of these two things. Make sure, I don't know why I'm laughing. Don't laugh, Crystal. Don't laugh. Okay, make sure that you're not choking yourself out. And you're probably like, what is she talking about? How are you choking yourself out? What I mean is when you go like this on the low note, when you bring your chin in towards your throat, you're choking yourself out, honey. Stop doing that. It makes it so hard to hit those low notes. What you need to do, if you got to, and I've done this with a few of my students, so if you're listening and you know that was you, I'm not coming for you, I'm not coming for you. We're already working on it. You are already on your journey to recovery. So this is for anybody out there who's dealing with this and may not know, okay? So I want you to put your hands right underneath your chin like you're sitting pretty. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? You know, just make sure that your chin doesn't drop, okay? So as you sing that same note, if you have a tendency to drop your chin, well, I challenge you to do this in front of a mirror or do it in front of your camera where you can see yourself as well, and make sure that you keep your hands here so you can feel your head going down so you could stop yourself from doing it. You want to keep a neutral neck and posture as you sing even the lowest notes in your range, okay? And it might sound really simple what I'm saying, but you'd be surprised how hard it is to fight that urge if you've been doing it like your whole singing career, okay? So yeah, it takes some getting used to, but you can do it, okay? I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you and me, okay? Like Whitney Houston said, we got this, you got this, okay? All right, and so the next thing you need to do, if you tried all of those things, I know there was 3 things that I really wanted to focus on, but breath is key. Make sure you are actually breathing from your diaphragm and not your chest. So here's a little fun fact about the low notes in your voice. Your low notes are all in your chest range. Chest voice is usually where you speak. So what we think, and this happens to a lot of people, it's because we don't speak the way we sing, okay? Now, this is something that we should be actually doing, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. But what you wanna do is make sure you're always breathing from your diaphragm. Doesn't matter if you're speaking, okay, or singing low notes. And the reason why it's good to get in the practice of always breathing through your diaphragm, no matter what you're doing, is so that when you hit those low notes that are familiar to you, or even that are lower than your speaking range, you're already familiar with always using your diaphragm. It becomes second nature. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, just put your hands right underneath your rib cage. I want you to take a deep breath in, and I want you to do 2 things. 1, make sure that your chest and shoulders are not moving up and down when you take your breath in, okay? Second thing, you want to make sure that those hands expand out as you fill up with air, like this. The party is happening from the waist down, okay? So no movement on the chest and shoulders, nothing besides the rib cage slightly expanding, but definitely not chest and shoulders. Okay, so that's the difference. And if you have trouble doing that, again, follow the instructions on making sure your posture is correct. Practice in front of a mirror, practice in front of a camera. Do what you need to do to break that habit, okay? Let's go back over those things that you need to do to make sure your low notes sound like butter.
Wait, what?
1, make sure it's in your vocal range. 2, make sure that you change the vowel shape to change the placement of the note so that it can sound a little bit more open and bright. 3, make sure that you are not choking yourself out, okay? Make sure your posture is upright and that you don't move your head and neck down as you sing those low notes. And last but not least, 4, make sure you are projecting and breathing from your diaphragm and not your chest. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. That's anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. I couldn't have done this without you guys. So some of you guys who are donating, hey, I see you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you guys, until next time, have a wonderful day.